Success is a universal aspiration, a heart-stirring concept that has driven humanity forward for centuries. But over time, its meaning has become muddled, diluted by hollow platitudes and superficial ideals that fail to illuminate its true essence. Napoleon Hill, one of history's greatest philosophers on wealth, self-mastery, and fulfillment, knew this better than anyone. When he embarked on his journey to uncover the principles of success, he wasn't just searching for answers that would uplift his own life. He was on a mission far greater, to unlock a timeless blueprint, an eternal roadmap that could be followed by anyone determined to achieve greatness. But where did it all start? Picture this: a young, ambitious journalist, full of curiosity, face-to-face with Andrew Carnegie, a man who controlled steel empires and whose fortune rivaled kings. Carnegie, however, was no ordinary man. His genius wasn't simply in knowing how to generate unimaginable wealth. His true gift rested in his deep understanding of the inner workings of human potential. And it was here that an extraordinary moment of destiny unfolded. Carnegie didn't simply grant Hill a few days of interviews for a magazine. He opened an entire world of possibilities to him, offering Hill a chance to dedicate his life to what would become one of the greatest studies of success ever undertaken. Carnegie believed there was a pattern, a series of interwoven truths that governed achievement, wealth, and fulfillment in life. But there was a challenge. These truths, though simple in their core elements, were not widely understood. In fact, most people lived their lives unaware of them altogether. Carnegie issued Hill a challenge of a lifetime: dedicate decades to studying these truths, not as theoretical concepts, but as practical tools. Interview the greatest minds, the biggest achievers, the wealth creators, and the changemakers of the era. Find the universal principles they shared, and create a system that was accessible to anyone who dared to dream beyond the limits imposed by society, education, or circumstance. And so began Hill's legendary journey, a labor of love spanning 25 years, during which he interviewed over 500 luminaries, from inventors and industrialists to statesmen and creative geniuses. He didn't just ask what they did, but why they did it. How did they think? What unseen internal forces drove their actions? How did they overcome their darkest failures when most would have surrendered to despair? But if Napoleon Hill's life teaches us anything, it's that uncovering the truths of success isn't for the faint of heart. It's a marathon, not a sprint. Hill discovered that the road to uncovering greatness was paved with struggle, uncertainty, and rejection. Yet, ironically, this was the first major discovery he would make. Adversity is not the enemy of success, it is its ally. Within the trials lay the seeds of the principles he sought to uncover, for in every struggle of those he interviewed was the proof he was looking for. Success is not random. It is not reserved for the lucky few. It is governed by an iron law, a series of principles that, when mastered and integrated, unlock a kind of internal power most people never realize they possess. Hill's findings revealed something revolutionary. Success isn't just action. It's the alignment of mind, body, and spirit toward a singular, burning desire. It's the mastery not just of external circumstances, but of oneself, to harness faith, imagination, persistence, and a mastermind of like-minded individuals who amplify your potential. These were not shallow insights, nor were they quick-fix techniques. They were truths to be lived, sometimes painfully learned, universally applicable, yet deeply personal. For Hill, the magic wasn't in the principles themselves, but in the way they formed a network of cause and effect, a ladder of interconnected steps that, when climbed with discipline, could take an individual from the depths of despair to the fulfillment of their greatest ambitions. But let's go back to that pivotal moment with Andrew Carnegie for a second. Imagine the audacity of it all. A wealthy titan placing an enormous responsibility on the shoulders of a young, relatively unknown writer. Carnegie knew that Hill's journey wouldn't only test his intellect, but his character, resilience, and resolve. It required someone with the ability to endure the very lessons they would later teach. Someone who had to understand failure deeply, not as the end of the road, but as a crucible that would refine every aspect of their being. Perhaps this was why Hill's work remains timeless. The principles he uncovered were not merely theories handed down by the successful, they were experiential truths carved into the very fabric of his own existence. This is what makes his message resonate so profoundly to anyone willing to truly listen. Hill wasn't an outsider observing success from afar. He lived it. He struggled in its pursuit, doubted himself, failed, and yet pressed forward. He became the embodiment of the principles he later taught to a world hungry for transformation. The beauty of Hill's philosophy lies in its universality. He didn't just write for the wealthy or the already accomplished. He wrote for the dreamers, the fighters, the overlooked, and the underestimated. His 13 principles of success aren't simply motivational, they're strategic. They uncover how ordinary people can achieve life-changing outcomes by purposefully working with universal laws. And perhaps what is most thrilling is that Hill's ideas are as relevant today as they were a century ago. Even now, in a world of constant change, technological advancement, and global challenges, the principles remain a constant beacon for anyone willing to take ownership of their destiny. This, then, is the heart of this video, an invitation to delve into these principles not as abstract ideals, but as tools you can master. We will dissect Hill's findings not in isolation, but in their totality, showing you the glue that binds them together and the synergy that multiplies their effectiveness. Before you is not merely the chance to hear 13 principles, it's the opportunity to understand the system that has lifted countless men and women to heights they never thought possible. But remember, this isn't something you passively watch. If you let it, this exploration will challenge you, stretch you, and force you to confront the barriers both external and internal that have kept you from your truest potential. What comes next are not just principles. They are a call to action, a blueprint for greatness if you dare to pursue it. The journey toward understanding success begins with a single, undeniable truth that Carnegie whispered to Hill during their first encounter. Everything worthwhile in life starts with a burning desire. But this wasn't just any desire. It was something far more profound, more consuming, more transformative than the casual wishes most people harbor throughout their lives. Think about the desires you've had in your past. Perhaps you wanted a better job, more money, improved relationships, or greater recognition. These were likely genuine wants, but were they truly burning desires? Hill discovered through his extensive research that there exists a fundamental difference between wanting something and being consumed by the need to achieve it. This distinction separates those who dream from those who accomplish, those who hope from those who manifest their reality. A burning desire is not a fleeting thought that crosses your mind during moments of dissatisfaction. It is not the kind of wish you make when you see someone else's success and think, "I'd like that too." A burning desire is an obsession that takes root in the deepest chambers of your consciousness and refuses to be ignored. It becomes the lens through which you view every opportunity, every challenge, every moment of your existence. It transforms from something you want into something you must have, not out of greed or selfishness, but out of an inner knowing that this achievement is essential to who you are meant to become. Hill observed that every person he interviewed possessed this quality in abundance. Thomas Edison didn't simply want to invent the light bulb, he was consumed by the vision of illuminating the world. Henry Ford wasn't merely interested in building cars. He was obsessed with the idea of putting America on wheels, making transportation accessible to the common person. These men didn't work toward their goals, they were pulled by them, drawn by an invisible force that made their desires feel more like destiny than choice. But how does one cultivate such intensity of desire? Hill discovered that burning desire cannot be manufactured through willpower alone. It emerges from a deep alignment between what you want and who you believe you are meant to be. It requires you to connect your goals not just to external rewards, but to your core identity, your values, and your vision of the person you wish to become. When this connection is made, the desire stops being something you pursue and becomes something that pursues you. The process begins with absolute clarity. You must know exactly what you want, not in vague terms, but with crystal clear precision. Hill found that successful people could describe their goals with such specificity that others could visualize them perfectly. They knew not just what they wanted, but why they wanted it, when they intended to achieve it, and what they were willing to sacrifice to make it happen. This clarity acts like a beacon, cutting through the fog of uncertainty and illuminating the path forward. But clarity alone is insufficient. The desire must be emotionalized. Hill discovered that the subconscious mind responds not to logic, but to feeling. The most successful individuals he studied had learned to attach powerful emotions to their goals. They didn't just think about what they wanted, they felt it with every fiber of their being. They could see themselves already in possession of their desire, experience the satisfaction of achievement, and feel the pride of accomplishment as if it had already occurred. This emotional connection creates what Hill called definiteness of purpose, a state where your desire becomes so clear and compelling that it begins to influence every decision you make. You start to naturally gravitate toward opportunities that align with your goal and instinctively avoid activities that distract from it. Your burning desire becomes an internal compass, guiding you through the complexity of life with unwavering direction. Hill also discovered that burning desire has a magnetic quality. When you are truly consumed by a worthy goal, you begin to attract the people, resources, and circumstances necessary for its achievement. This isn't mysticism, it's psychology. When your desire is genuine and intense, it shows in your behavior, your conversation, your energy, and your commitment. Others sense this authenticity and are naturally drawn to support someone who demonstrates such clarity and passion. However, Hill warned against confusing burning desire with mere wishful thinking. Wishful thinking is passive. Burning desire is active. Wishful thinking hopes for change. Burning desire creates it. Wishful thinking waits for the right moment. Burning desire makes every moment the right moment. The difference lies not just in intensity, but in commitment to action. The cultivation of burning desire also requires you to raise your standards. Hill observed that successful people didn't just want more, they expected more from themselves. They refused to accept mediocrity as their permanent condition and instead demanded excellence in every area of their lives. This elevation of standards creates a natural tension between where you are and where you want to be, and this tension becomes the driving force that propels you forward. Perhaps most importantly, Hill discovered that burning desire must be constantly nourished. Like a fire, it requires fuel to maintain its intensity. This fuel comes in the form of daily visualization, constant learning, continuous action, and regular association with others who share similar ambitions. The moment you stop feeding your desire, it begins to diminish, and with it, your momentum toward achievement. The power of burning desire extends beyond personal achievement. Hill found that when individuals are driven by authentic, burning desires, they naturally contribute more to the world around them. Their passion becomes contagious, inspiring others to pursue their own dreams with greater intensity. They become leaders not because they seek to control others, but because their clarity of purpose and unwavering commitment naturally draws followers. As we prepare to explore how this burning desire connects with the next principle, remember that everything you will learn builds upon this foundation. Without genuine burning desire, all other techniques and strategies become mere intellectual exercises. But with it, you possess the starting point for transformation that can reshape not just your circumstances, but your entire life. Once your burning desire has been ignited, it must be sustained and amplified by an unwavering force that Hill identified as the second fundamental principle: faith. But this is not the passive faith of wishful thinking or blind hope. This is an active, dynamic faith, a state of mind that can be developed through deliberate practice and conscious cultivation. It is the kind of faith that transforms possibility into inevitability, that bridges the gap between where you are and where you intend to be. Hill discovered that every successful person he studied possessed an unshakable belief in their ability to achieve their definite purpose, even when external circumstances suggested otherwise. This faith wasn't based on evidence, it preceded evidence. It wasn't dependent on past success, it created future success. It was a conviction so deep and so complete that it influenced every thought, every decision, and every action they took. But what exactly is this faith that Hill spoke of? It is the absolute certainty that your burning desire will manifest into reality, regardless of temporary setbacks, apparent obstacles, or the skepticism of others. It is the inner knowing that you possess within yourself all the resources necessary to achieve your goals, even if you cannot yet see how those resources will emerge. This faith acts as a powerful magnet, drawing to you the people, opportunities, and circumstances that align with your definite purpose. Hill observed that faith operates on multiple levels simultaneously. On the conscious level, it manifests as confidence, optimism, and unwavering determination. You approach challenges with the expectation of finding solutions rather than the fear of encountering problems. You view setbacks as temporary detours rather than permanent roadblocks. You maintain your focus on your desired outcome even when current reality appears to contradict your vision. On the subconscious level, faith programs your mind to recognize and act upon opportunities that others might miss. When you truly believe in your ability to achieve something, your subconscious mind begins working around the clock to make that achievement possible. It filters information differently, notices connections that were previously invisible, and guides you toward decisions that support your ultimate objective. The development of faith begins with the conscious repetition of your definite purpose. Hill discovered that when you repeatedly affirm your goals with emotion and conviction, you begin to impress these desires upon your subconscious mind. This process, which he called autosuggestion, gradually transforms hope into expectation and expectation into unshakable belief. The more frequently and intensely you declare your intentions, the more deeply they become embedded in your consciousness. But mere repetition is insufficient. The affirmations must be charged with genuine emotion. Hill found that the subconscious mind responds most powerfully to thoughts that are mixed with feeling. When you can visualize your success with such clarity that you actually experience the emotions associated with achievement, the satisfaction, the pride, the joy, you begin to create a mental blueprint that your subconscious works tirelessly to manifest in physical reality. Faith also requires you to act as if your success is inevitable. Hill observed that successful people didn't wait for proof before they began behaving like the person they intended to become. They invested in themselves, made decisions from their future identity rather than their current circumstances, and took actions that demonstrated their unwavering belief in their eventual success. This congruence between belief and behavior creates a powerful momentum that accelerates the achievement of your goals. One of the most profound discoveries Hill made was that faith has the power to transmute failure into success. Every person he studied had encountered significant setbacks, defeats, and disappointments on their journey to achievement. But rather than allowing these experiences to diminish their faith, they used them as fuel to strengthen it. They understood that temporary defeat is not permanent failure, and they maintained their belief in their ultimate success even in the darkest moments. This resilient faith is built upon a foundation of self-knowledge and self-respect. Hill found that individuals with unshakable faith had developed a deep appreciation for their own capabilities and potential. They recognized that they possessed unique talents, perspectives, and abilities that, when properly directed, could create extraordinary results. This self-confidence wasn't arrogance, it was an honest assessment of their inherent worth and capability. Faith also extends beyond belief in yourself to include faith in the principles that govern success. Hill discovered that successful people had developed an understanding of certain universal laws, the law of cause and effect, the law of attraction, the law of compensation, and they had complete faith in the operation of these principles. They knew that right thinking and right action would inevitably produce right results, even if those results didn't appear immediately. The cultivation of faith requires careful attention to the influences you allow into your mind. Hill observed that faith is contagious. It can be caught from others who possess it, just as doubt and fear can be transmitted from those who harbor these destructive emotions. Successful people deliberately surrounded themselves with individuals who supported their vision and avoided those who sought to diminish their dreams through skepticism or negativity. Perhaps most importantly, Hill discovered that faith must be demonstrated through persistent action. Faith without works is merely wishful thinking. True faith expresses itself through consistent, determined effort toward your definite purpose, regardless of immediate results. When you continue to work toward your goal, even when progress seems slow or obstacles appear insurmountable, you demonstrate the kind of faith that moves mountains and creates miracles. As your faith develops and strengthens, it begins to influence not only your own thoughts and actions, but also the thoughts and actions of others. People are naturally drawn to individuals who possess genuine faith in themselves and their mission. This attraction creates opportunities for cooperation, collaboration, and mutual support that would not exist otherwise. The relationship between burning desire and faith is symbiotic. Your burning desire provides the fuel for faith, while faith provides the unwavering foundation upon which your desire can build momentum. Together, they create an unstoppable force that can overcome any obstacle and achieve any worthy objective. But to harness this power fully, you must learn to communicate with the most powerful part of your mind, your subconscious, through the principle we will explore next. Your burning desire has been ignited, a powerful, consuming flame within you. You have begun to cultivate unwavering faith, that profound inner certainty that your objective is not merely possible, but inevitable. Yet, how do you bridge the chasm between a conscious belief and the automatic, often unconscious functioning of your inner world? How do you implant these potent thoughts, these declarations of destiny, so profoundly that your entire being, every cell, every impulse, aligns effortlessly with your purpose? The answer lies within the principle of autosuggestion. This is not a mere trick of the mind, nor is it simplistic positive thinking. Autosuggestion is the deliberate, systematic process of influencing your subconscious mind with constructive thoughts, beliefs, and vivid images. It is, in essence, the only pathway you possess to directly communicate with and program your inner power plant. That vast, silent, and incredibly potent force that operates ceaselessly within you. The subconscious mind is a fertile, uncritical ground. It accepts any seed you plant within it, whether good or detrimental, without question, without judgment. It doesn't analyze. It merely processes and executes the instructions it receives most frequently and, most importantly, with the greatest emotional intensity. Most individuals, unaware of this profound truth, spend their lives inadvertently programming themselves for limitation, for doubt, for failure, by allowing fear, worry, and the negative opinions of others to take root within this fertile ground. Hill's monumental discovery was not just identifying this mechanism, but codifying the precise method to reverse this destructive programming and harness its power for constructive ends. The method of conscious autosuggestion begins with a clarity so precise it borders on obsession, a definite purpose, born from your burning desire. You must articulate with absolute exactness the message you intend to convey to your subconscious. Vagueness is the enemy of effectiveness here. Know what you seek to achieve, the person you aspire to become, the reality you are determined to create. Once this message is crystal clear, the critical next step is emotionalization. Words alone are often hollow, weak, easily dismissed by the subconscious. But words charged with genuine feeling, with fervent belief, become a force of nature. You must learn to imbue your affirmations with emotion so vivid that you experience the desired reality as if it is already present. See yourself, hear yourself, feel yourself living your success in this very moment. This is not imagination for amusement. It is imagination as a precursor to creation. Such emotionalized instructions must then be delivered with disciplined repetition. The subconscious, like a loyal but uncritical servant, responds to the consistent input it receives. Establish rituals, particularly during those liminal states when the conscious mind is less dominant, just before drifting into sleep or immediately upon waking. These are the golden hours when the veil between conscious intention and subconscious acceptance is thinnest. During these times, visualize your desired reality with every sensory detail you can muster. See the colors, hear the sounds, feel the textures, taste the flavors, smell the scents associated with your accomplishment. This is more than merely seeing. It is experiencing your future self right here, right now. This consistent, emotionally charged repetition etches your purpose onto the very fabric of your inner being, transforming it from a mere hope into an unshakable conviction. Consider your subconscious mind as a highly advanced computer and auto-suggestion as the code you write to program its operations. This code overrides old, limiting programs, the doubts, the fears, the inherited beliefs that have held you captive. It instills new, empowering directives that propel you toward your definite chief aim. This consistent self-programming constructs an internal fortress, a bulwark against the waves of negativity and skepticism that inevitably arise from the outside world. It fortifies your inner conviction, rendering you impervious to the naysayers and the temporary setbacks that inevitably occur on any significant journey. The connection between auto-suggestion, burning desire, and faith is profound and interdependent. Your burning desire provides the what, the explicit blueprint of your aspiration. Your faith provides the why, the unwavering belief that such a manifestation is indeed possible. And auto-suggestion provides the crucial how, the practical daily mechanism through which you systematically make yourself believe it is possible, making it real in the deepest chambers of your mind. Those who achieve truly extraordinary feats, the individuals Hill studied, were not merely dreamers. They were, whether consciously or instinctively, deliberate programmers of their own minds, crafting their internal realities until external reality had no choice but to conform. The question then arises, not as a simple query, but as a direct challenge. What are you programming into your subconscious right now? Are you leaving the most powerful mechanism you possess to chance, allowing it to be shaped by fleeting impressions, external criticism, or self-defeating thoughts? Or are you taking deliberate, conscious control, writing the code for your own magnificent future? This principle of autosuggestion demands active, engaged participation. It is the key to mastering your inner world, to ensuring that your subconscious mind becomes your most formidable ally, tirelessly working toward the manifestation of your every worthy desire. Once your inner world is so meticulously programmed for success, with your subconscious mind aligned and operating on your behalf, what kind of knowledge will you need to feed this powerful internal engine? Your burning desire burns fiercely, fueled by an unyielding faith, and your subconscious mind is now being meticulously programmed through the power of autosuggestion. But what good is a magnificent blueprint and an unshakable belief if you lack the very materials and tools required for construction? This brings us to the crucial fourth principle: specialized knowledge. Understand this distinction clearly. There is a profound difference between general knowledge and specialized knowledge. General knowledge, though valuable in its own right, is often like an unorganized library, vast, impressive, but without a clear system for retrieval or application. Specialized knowledge, however, is a surgical instrument. It is precise, purposeful, and directly applicable to the achievement of your definite chief aim. It is the specific information, skills, and expertise that, when organized and intelligently directed, can transform your mental blueprint into tangible reality. Many individuals spend years accumulating vast amounts of general information, believing that sheer volume of data equates to power. But Hill's studies revealed a different truth. Knowledge only becomes power when it is organized and put into use through practical plans of action. The true genius lies not in knowing everything, but in knowing precisely what you need to know, and crucially, where and how to obtain it. Andrew Carnegie himself, a man of immense power and wealth, confessed that his formal education was limited. Yet he understood the power of specialized knowledge so intimately that he surrounded himself with brilliant minds who possessed the specific expertise he lacked. He was the conductor. They were the orchestra. He knew what he wanted to achieve, and he knew who had the specialized knowledge to help him achieve it. So, how do you acquire this indispensable specialized knowledge? It begins by identifying the precise nature of the knowledge required to fulfill your definite purpose. What specific skills are missing? What information do you lack? What expertise is essential for bringing your vision to life? This requires a brutally honest assessment of your current capabilities against the demands of your ambition. Do not shrink from this honest appraisal. It is the first step toward true mastery. Once you have clearly defined the specialized knowledge you need, the world becomes your vast repository. Formal education, while a valid path, is merely one avenue. Far more potent, Hill discovered, are real-world experience, continuous self-study, and the deliberate cultivation of a network of experts. Libraries, online courses, mentorships, trade journals, professional conferences — these are not just sources of information. They are arsenals of specialized insights waiting to be strategically deployed. The key is not to merely consume this knowledge, but to assimilate, integrate, and apply it with relentless focus. Consider your burning desire again. Let it be the magnet that pulls only the most relevant specialized knowledge towards you. Do not allow yourself to be distracted by interesting but ultimately irrelevant information. The modern world is awash in data. The skill is in curation, not just collection. Become an expert in filtering, in discerning what truly serves your purpose, and discarding what does not. This disciplined approach saves immense time and energy, directing your cognitive resources precisely where they are most needed. Hill observed that the most successful individuals developed an insatiable appetite for learning, particularly within their chosen field. They understood that knowledge is dynamic, not static. The world evolves, industries transform, and yesterday's solutions become tomorrow's obsolete methods. Therefore, the acquisition of specialized knowledge is not a one-time event. It is a continuous, lifelong process. It demands humility to admit what you do not know, and courage to constantly seek new answers and refine your understanding. Furthermore, do not mistake the act of acquiring knowledge for the act of applying it. Knowledge, unapplied, is merely potential energy. It is like owning a magnificent set of tools, but never picking them up to build anything. True specialized knowledge becomes powerful only when it is organized into definite plans and then executed with unwavering determination. This means taking notes, actively questioning, experimenting, failing, adjusting, and continuously refining your approach based on what you learn. The lessons gleaned from practical application far surpass anything learned solely from books or lectures. The principle of specialized knowledge also subtly reinforces the preceding principles. Your burning desire provides the clear objective that dictates which knowledge is required. Your faith provides the confidence that you can acquire and apply this knowledge. Your auto-suggestion programs your subconscious to be receptive to new information, to seek out solutions, and to retain what is most vital. Each principle interlocks, creating a synergistic effect where the whole is greater than the sum of its parts. So, reflect now on your own journey. What specific knowledge, what precise skill, what particular piece of information is currently the missing link between your current reality and the manifestation of your greatest desire? Identify it. Pursue it with the same burning intensity you apply to your desire itself. For the tools you acquire through specialized knowledge are not just information. They are the very means by which you will construct the bridge from dream to undeniable reality. Once you have acquired this specialized knowledge, how will you then transform it from abstract information into a tangible blueprint, a concrete plan of action? You have fueled your ambition with a burning desire, reinforced it with unwavering faith, and programmed your subconscious with autosuggestion, all while diligently acquiring the specialized knowledge necessary for your quest. Now, the question becomes, how do you synthesize these powerful elements into a concrete form? How do you move beyond abstract intention and into the realm of tangible creation? The answer lies in the fifth principle, one that resides at the very core of all human achievement: imagination. Imagination is more than mere fantasy or idle daydreaming. Hill discovered it to be the workshop of the mind, the very faculty through which humanity translates the formless into form, the abstract into the concrete. It is the miraculous ability to conceive of something that does not yet exist in physical reality. All invention, every masterpiece, every grand strategy, every fortune ever amassed, all originated as an idea within a human mind, conceived first through the power of imagination. This is the crucial stage where your burning desire, buttressed by faith, begins its journey from conception to birth. Without imagination, your desire remains a wish, your faith lacks direction, and your specialized knowledge lies dormant, a collection of tools without a builder. Hill identified two primary forms of imagination. The first is synthetic imagination, which involves arranging old concepts, ideas, or plans into new combinations. This is the realm of innovation, where existing elements are reassembled to solve problems or create new opportunities. Think of the entrepreneur who takes a familiar product and reimagines its distribution, or the inventor who combines two known technologies to create something entirely novel. This form of imagination relies heavily on your acquired specialized knowledge, drawing upon it as raw material for new creations. The more diverse and rich your store of specialized knowledge, the greater the potential for your synthetic imagination to forge revolutionary ideas. The second, and perhaps more profound form, is creative imagination. This is the channel through which entirely new ideas, inspirations, and insights are received from the infinite intelligence. It is the spark of genius, the sudden flash of understanding that seems to come from beyond your conscious mind. This faculty is particularly active when the conscious mind is engaged in deep thought, driven by an intense desire, and operating under the influence of strong emotion, particularly faith. Hill noted that creative imagination only functions when the conscious mind is prepared through the active engagement of the other principles. It is not an on-demand faculty, it is a responsive one, activated by the proper cultivation of your mental and emotional state. To effectively harness your imagination, you must consciously cultivate it. Like any muscle, it strengthens with use. Begin by taking your burning desire, your definite purpose, and vividly picturing it in your mind. See it not as a distant goal, but as an already accomplished fact. What does it look like? What does it feel like? What are the specific details of its realization? This is where your specialized knowledge becomes invaluable, allowing you to envision the mechanics, the processes, and the tangible aspects of your imagined success with incredible precision. The process of imagination is intrinsically linked to autosuggestion. As you repeatedly impress the image of your desired future onto your subconscious mind, you are not merely visualizing, you are actively engaging your imagination to create the mental blueprint. This blueprint then becomes the master plan that your subconscious mind works to actualize. The more detailed, vivid, and emotionally charged your mental image, the more clearly your subconscious understands its directive, and the more effectively it works to attract the necessary resources and opportunities. Imagination is also the crucible in which faith is tested and strengthened. When you can consistently hold a mental picture of your success, even in the face of current adversity, you are exercising faith in its most potent form. You are asserting that your internal reality is more powerful than your external circumstances. This mental resilience, born of a disciplined imagination, is what allows individuals to persist when others would simply give up. It is the ability to see the invisible and believe in the incredible. Consider how the great leaders, inventors, and entrepreneurs utilized this principle. They didn't merely react to their environment, they created a mental image of a desired future, a better way, a grander vision, and then they worked backward to make that vision a reality. They imagined the automobile before it existed, the incandescent light bulb before it shone, the vast industrial empires before they were built brick by brick. Their imagination provided the initial blueprint, the guiding star that illuminated their path through the darkest unknowns. The power of imagination also extends to problem solving. When confronted with obstacles, instead of dwelling on the difficulty, a disciplined mind can use imagination to conjure multiple solutions. By consciously engaging synthetic imagination, you can combine existing knowledge, experiences, and ideas in novel ways to overcome challenges that might otherwise seem insurmountable. It is about asking, "What if?" and then allowing your mind to explore possibilities without immediate judgment. Furthermore, imagination plays a critical role in the mastermind principle, which we will discuss later. Before you can effectively collaborate with others, you must first be able to imagine the desired outcome of that collaboration and envision the contributions of each member. The strength of a collective imagination, when properly directed, can achieve feats far beyond the scope of any single individual. The challenge, then, is not whether you possess imagination every human being does, but whether you choose to use it constructively and purposefully. Are you allowing your imagination to drift idly, conjuring worries and fears? Or are you diligently directing it toward the creation of your ideal future? Are you merely observing the world, or are you actively shaping it within the confines of your mental workshop? Your imagination is your most potent creative tool. It is the silent internal architect that drafts the plans for your destiny. Begin now to consciously employ it. See your definite purpose clearly. Feel its reality. Let this mental image become so vivid, so compelling, that it pulls you forward, inspiring every action and informing every decision. Once you have crafted this detailed mental blueprint, the next logical step becomes evident. How do you translate this powerful vision into a precise, actionable, and adaptable pathway to achievement? Your imagination, that magnificent mental workshop, has served its purpose. It has birthed the vivid, detailed blueprint of your definite purpose, infused with your burning desire and strengthened by your unwavering faith. But a blueprint, no matter how ingenious, remains a mere drawing until it is translated into a structured, actionable plan. This is where the sixth principle, organized planning, enters the arena. It is the crucial bridge that transforms a sublime vision into a concrete, executable strategy, without which even the most brilliant idea dissipates into the realm of unfulfilled dreams. Many mistake planning for a rigid, unyielding document, something carved in stone that cannot be deviated from. This is a profound misunderstanding. Hill's study of the most successful individuals revealed that their plans were not inflexible dogmas, but dynamic, adaptable roadmaps. They understood that the world is in constant motion, and that the path to any significant achievement rarely unfolds precisely as initially conceived. Organized planning, in its true essence, is the art of structuring your efforts, anticipating obstacles, and creating a sequence of logical steps, all while maintaining the agility to adjust course as new information, new opportunities, or unforeseen challenges inevitably arise. The first step in effective organized planning is to take your definite chief aim, the one born from your burning desire, and commit it to writing. This is not a casual exercise. This act of writing crystallizes your objective, moving it from the ethereal realm of thought into the tangible world of words. Next, and this is where your specialized knowledge becomes paramount, identify all the necessary steps required to achieve that aim. Break your grand objective into smaller, manageable, sequential tasks. Each step should be clear, measurable, and directly contribute to the ultimate goal. Think of it as constructing a complex building. You don't simply wish for a skyscraper, you design the foundation, then the frame, then each floor, each system, in a logical progression. Once these steps are identified, you must then assign realistic timelines and responsibilities. Who will do what? By when? This instills accountability and urgency, transforming vague intentions into definite commitments. Hill emphasized the importance of setting definite dates for the completion of each step and for the final realization of your definite purpose. These deadlines act as powerful motivators, creating a healthy pressure that propels you forward and prevents procrastination. Furthermore, organized planning demands that you anticipate potential obstacles. What challenges might arise? What resources might be scarce? What resistance might you encounter, both externally and internally? By proactively identifying these hurdles, you can develop contingency plans, prepare solutions in advance, and minimize the impact of unforeseen problems. This foresight is a hallmark of truly organized minds, allowing them to navigate turbulence with grace and efficiency rather than being derailed by every bump in the road. A critical aspect of organized planning, often overlooked, is the identification of those who can assist you. No great achievement is ever accomplished in isolation. Who possesses the additional specialized knowledge you might need? Who can provide support, insight, or resources? This naturally leads to the formation of a mastermind group, a principle we will explore later. But its seeds are planted here, in the planning phase. Recognizing your own limitations and proactively seeking collaborative alliances is not a weakness. It is a profound strength, a testament to intelligent, strategic thinking. Now, with your detailed plan in hand, the real work begins, the daily commitment to its execution. A plan, however meticulously crafted, is worthless if it remains confined to paper. It must be brought to life through consistent, disciplined action. Hill taught that a well-organized plan, when coupled with persistence, transforms into an irresistible force. Each executed step, no matter how small, builds momentum, reinforces your faith, and sends a clear message to your subconscious that you are serious about your definite purpose. This consistency of action, guided by your plan, is how you demonstrate your commitment to the universe, and the universe, in turn, responds by aligning circumstances in your favor. The power of an organized plan also lies in its ability to clarify your mental processes. When your mind is cluttered with vague intentions and unprioritized tasks, it becomes inefficient and prone to distraction. A written plan provides a clear framework, allowing you to focus your energy on one specific task at a time, knowing that each completed step moves you closer to your ultimate objective. This clarity reduces mental fatigue, increases efficiency, and fosters a profound sense of control over your own destiny. However, a truly organized plan must never become a cage. It is a guide, not a dictator. Be prepared to revisit and revise your plan frequently. The world changes, and so must your strategy. Learning from your experiences, adapting to new information, and refining your approach are not deviations from the plan. They are integral parts of the planning process itself. This flexibility ensures that your plan remains relevant and effective, always serving your definite chief aim, even as the landscape around you shifts. The absence of organized planning, conversely, is a leading cause of failure. Many possess burning desires and even faith, But without a systematic plan, their efforts are scattered, their energy dissipated, and their time wasted in unproductive endeavors. They mistake activity for progress and often find themselves overwhelmed and disheartened, eventually abandoning their worthy ambitions. Without a clear path, indecision takes root, and momentum is lost before it can even truly begin. So reflect on your own journey. Have you merely dreamed, or have you dared to plan? Have you translated your grand vision into a series of executable steps with clear deadlines and assigned responsibilities? Are you leveraging your specialized knowledge to build a robust, adaptable strategy? Your plan is the very skeleton of your success, giving form and structure to your aspirations. It is the roadmap that ensures you do not wander aimlessly, but march purposefully toward your ultimate destination. But even the most perfectly organized plan, brilliant in its conception, remains inert until it is breathed into life by an act of will. What then is the force that ignites this action and prevents paralysis in the face of choices? Your burning desire has painted a vivid picture. Your faith acts as the unwavering light guiding your brushstrokes. Your subconscious, through auto-suggestion, is primed to receive instruction. Your specialized knowledge provides the pigments and techniques, and your organized plan lays out the canvas and sequence for creation. Yet despite all this preparation, a masterpiece remains unpainted without a single decisive stroke. This brings us to the seventh principle, perhaps the most critical turning point in the journey toward any significant achievement. Decision. Decision. Not merely a choice, but a commitment. Not a fleeting preference, but an irrevocable act of will that sets the universe in motion. Hill's 25 years of meticulous study revealed a profound truth. The ability to make decisions swiftly and to adhere to them with an iron will is a distinguishing characteristic shared by every truly successful individual. Conversely, the lack of this ability, the agonizing habit of indecision, stands as one of the most insidious and pervasive causes of failure. Think for a moment about your own life. How many aspirations have withered? How many opportunities have slipped away, not due to lack of desire, intelligence, or even resources, but due to a paralysis of analysis? The fear of making the wrong choice, the endless weighing of pros and cons, the constant seeking of approval or reassurance from others. These are the chains that bind you to mediocrity. Indecision is a silent assassin of dreams, subtly eroding your confidence, squandering your time, and ultimately preventing any substantial movement toward your definite purpose. Andrew Carnegie, the very man who set Hill on this monumental quest, was a paragon of decisiveness. He observed that men who accumulate great fortunes are, almost without exception, quick in reaching decisions. They might be slow and cautious in their initial planning and information gathering, leveraging their specialized knowledge and the power of their mastermind alliance. But once the critical information is assembled, once the blueprint is clear in their imagination, they act with swift conviction. More importantly, they maintain those decisions with a steadfastness that few possess, changing them only slowly, if at all, and only after conclusive evidence proves them to be unsound. The contrast is stark. Those who fail, Hill noted, typically reach decisions slowly, if at all, and change them frequently and rapidly. This isn't to say that all decisions are flawless. No one possesses perfect foresight. But the act of deciding, even if the initial choice proves less than optimal, is infinitely more valuable than the inertia of indecision. A wrong decision, swiftly made, can often be corrected, adapted, and learned from. It provides data, feedback, and a new starting point. Indecision, however, provides nothing but stagnation and regret. It is a decision to do nothing, to remain exactly where you are, and that is a choice that guarantees no progress. The power of decision lies in its ability to break paralysis. It is the catalyst that transforms thought into action. Until a definite decision is made, your burning desire remains a wish, your faith remains a belief without a vessel, your auto-suggestion lacks the concrete aim it needs, your specialized knowledge sits unused, and your organized plan is merely ink on paper. Decision is the trigger that sets the entire machinery of achievement into motion. It is the act of stepping across a chasm, committing fully to the other side, burning the bridges behind you, and leaving no room for retreat. How, then, do you cultivate this vital habit of decisiveness? It begins with acknowledging the inherent risk in every choice. Life itself is a series of decisions, each carrying its own set of potential outcomes. The truly successful understand this and embrace it. They develop a tolerance for uncertainty and a profound trust in their own judgment. This trust is built gradually through the repeated act of making choices, observing their consequences, and learning from them rather than being paralyzed by the fear of error. Practice making small decisions quickly. Do not agonize over trivial matters. This habit, once ingrained, will naturally extend to more significant choices. Furthermore, actively guard against the insidious habit of seeking endless external validation. While seeking advice from your mastermind group is invaluable, a constant need for others to make your decisions for you is a sign of a critical weakness that must be overcome. Ultimately, the responsibility and the power to choose reside within you. Decision is also intimately linked with courage. It takes courage to stand by your convictions, especially when they defy conventional wisdom or encounter resistance. It takes courage to choose a difficult path over an easy one. It takes courage to make a choice knowing that failure is a possible outcome. But courage, like decisiveness, is a muscle that strengthens with use. Each time you make a firm decision and follow through, you bolster your internal fortitude, making the next decision easier and more confident. The very act of making a decision sends a powerful signal to your subconscious mind. It is a clear command, a directive that says, "This is what we are doing. This is the path we are taking." This clear instruction eliminates ambiguity and allows your subconscious to align its immense powers toward the chosen objective, reinforcing your auto-suggestion and strengthening your faith. It streamlines your mental energy, eliminating the internal conflict and indecision that drain vitality and focus. Remember the story of the signing of the Declaration of Independence. The 56 men who affixed their signatures to that document were not merely expressing a desire for freedom. They were making a profound and terrifying decision. They were choosing independence over subservience, knowing full well that such a decision could cost them their lives. But it was that definitive decision, that unshakable commitment, that ignited a revolution and forged a nation. Your own personal revolution, your own declaration of independence from limitation and mediocrity, begins with the same decisive act. It is the moment you stop merely dreaming and start doing. It is the instant you transform your well-crafted plan into a living, breathing strategy. So reflect now on your own journey. What critical decision have you been deferring? What choice must you make, swiftly and irrevocably, to propel your definite purpose forward? Do not allow the fear of error to hold you captive. The true error lies in inaction, in the silent surrender to indecision. For it is only through the courageous act of decision that your dreams begin their march toward reality. Once a firm decision is made, you will inevitably encounter resistance, setbacks, and moments that test your resolve. What then is the indispensable quality that transforms these temporary defeats into stepping stones toward ultimate triumph? Your definite purpose is now etched into your consciousness. Your burning desire propels you. Your faith stands as an unyielding beacon. Your subconscious is programmed through autosuggestion. Your specialized knowledge informs every step, and your organized plan lays out the precise path. You have made the crucial decision, the irrevocable commitment to action. But the journey from decision to achievement is rarely a straight, unobstructed line. It is almost always fraught with detours, unexpected barriers, and moments that test the very fiber of your being. This is precisely where the eighth principle, a quality Hill deemed indispensable for all enduring success, comes into play: persistence. Persistence is the sustained effort necessary to induce faith. It is the unwavering resolve to carry through with your chosen course of action, regardless of obstacles, temporary defeats, or the discouraging feedback of others. It is the stubborn refusal to accept no as a final answer, transforming every setback into a stepping stone, every challenge into an opportunity for growth. Without persistence, even the most brilliant plans, the most ardent desires, and the deepest faith will ultimately wither and die under the harsh realities of life. Hill's extensive research revealed that the greatest differentiator between those who succeed and those who fail is not talent, intelligence, or even initial resources, but simply the capacity for sustained, intelligent persistence. He observed countless individuals who, possessing all the right ingredients for success, a clear goal, a good plan, even flashes of genius, collapsed at the first sign of opposition. They lacked that indomitable spirit, that inner toughness that drives one to continue when all external signs point to retreat. Persistence is not blind stubbornness. It is not about repeatedly banging your head against a brick wall. True persistence, as Hill defined it, is intelligent persistence. It involves the continuous application of effort, combined with the willingness to adapt your methods, seek new information, and refine your approach when current strategies prove ineffective. It means learning from every mistake, extracting the wisdom from every failure, and using that newfound knowledge to forge a stronger, more effective path forward. The cultivation of persistence begins with a clear understanding of your definite chief aim. When your goal is crystal clear and deeply aligned with your personal values, your capacity for persistence naturally increases. It becomes easier to endure hardship when you know precisely what you are enduring it for. This clarity acts as an internal compass, guiding you through the storms of doubt and discouragement. Hill also identified 4 fundamental steps for developing persistence. A definite purpose. Knowing what you want is the first step toward getting it. Without a clearly defined objective, your efforts will be scattered and easily abandoned. Your definite chief aim provides the anchor for your persistence. A burning desire. As discussed, a mere wish is not enough. You must possess an intense, emotional desire for the object of your pursuit. This burning desire fuels your will to persist when the going gets tough. Self-reliance. Cultivate an unwavering belief in your own ability to carry out your plans. This self-confidence, born of faith and autosuggestion, fortifies your resolve against external criticism and internal doubts. Organized plans. While persistence is about effort, it must be directed effort. A well-constructed plan provides a systematic approach, ensuring that your persistent actions are purposeful and contribute directly to your goal. These 4 steps form the bedrock of intelligent persistence. They transform a vague intention into a powerful, directed force that can overcome nearly any obstacle. One of the most insidious enemies of persistence is the fear of criticism. Many individuals abandon their dreams, not because they encounter genuine, insurmountable obstacles, but because they cannot endure the disapproval or ridicule of others. Hill understood that pioneers are always met with skepticism, and that those who achieve great things often stand alone for a time. The persistent individual develops a thick skin, an inner resolve that prioritizes their own vision above the fleeting opinions of the crowd. Another common destroyer of persistence is the habit of procrastination. Delaying action, finding excuses, and waiting for the perfect moment slowly erodes your momentum and weakens your will. Persistence demands immediate and sustained action, even when you don't feel like it, even when the task seems daunting. It is the triumph of discipline over fleeting mood. Consider the countless stories of inventors, artists, and entrepreneurs who faced rejection after rejection, failure after failure, yet refused to quit. Thomas Edison famously failed thousands of times before successfully inventing the practical light bulb. Colonel Sanders was over 60 years old and had his secret recipe rejected over 1,000 times before he found a partner for Kentucky Fried Chicken. These individuals were not immune to discouragement. They simply refused to allow discouragement to defeat them. Their persistence was a testament to the power of their definite purpose and their unwavering faith. Persistence is also crucial in the face of what Hill called temporary defeat. Every individual who strives for something significant will, at some point, encounter situations where their efforts seem to yield no results, where their plans fall apart, or where success seems impossibly distant. It is during these moments that the quality of persistence is truly tested. The non-persistent give up, convinced that their goal was unattainable. The persistent, however, view temporary defeat as a signal to reevaluate their methods, to learn, to grow, and to try a different approach, never abandoning the ultimate objective. The rewards of persistence are immense. It is the quality that transforms dreams into reality. It builds character, strengthens resolve, and develops an inner fortitude that becomes an enduring asset in all areas of life. Moreover, persistence often acts as a beacon, attracting supportive individuals and opportunities that might not have appeared otherwise. The universe, it seems, conspires to assist those who demonstrate an unyielding commitment to their goals. So, as you move forward with your meticulously crafted plans and your unwavering decision, prepare yourself for the inevitable tests of your resolve. Do not fear temporary defeat. Embrace it as a necessary part of the process, a forge in which your persistence is strengthened. Let your definite purpose be your guide, your burning desire your fuel, and your faith your unshakable conviction. For it is through the relentless application of intelligent persistence that you will transform adversity into advantage and ultimately claim the victory that your heart desires. But even the most persistent individual often finds their journey made easier, their challenges overcome more swiftly, and their achievements magnified when they learn to harness the collective power of other minds. What, then, is this profound synergy that amplifies individual effort into a force of exponential growth? Your definite purpose is sharp, your burning desire fuels an unshakable faith, and your subconscious is meticulously programmed. Specialized knowledge provides the raw materials, and your organized plan outlines the construction process. You have made the crucial decision to embark, and your persistence ensures you will not falter. Yet, even the most formidable individual, equipped with all these powerful tools, often finds their journey made immeasurably easier, their challenges overcome more swiftly, and their achievements magnified when they learn to harness the collective power of other minds. This profound synergy, the amplification of individual effort into a force of exponential growth, is the essence of Hill's ninth principle, the power of the master mind. The master mind principle, as elucidated by Hill, is not merely about teamwork or collaboration, though it encompasses these elements. It is a far more mystical and powerful concept, the coordination of knowledge and effort between two or more people working in perfect harmony for the attainment of a definite purpose. Hill asserted that when minds unite in this spirit of perfect accord, a third mind is created, an invisible, intangible force that is greater and more powerful than the sum of the individual minds comprising the alliance. This collective intelligence, this shared mental energy, acts as a conduit to infinite intelligence, opening channels of inspiration, insight, and creative problem-solving that would be inaccessible to any single person. Think of it this way: no single individual, no matter how brilliant, possesses all the specialized knowledge required for every grand endeavor. No one mind can generate every possible creative solution or foresee every potential obstacle. The Mastermind Alliance serves as a living, breathing extension of your own capabilities. It multiplies your available specialized knowledge, vastly expands your imaginative capacity, provides diverse perspectives for organized planning, reinforces your decisions, and, crucially, bolsters your persistence through mutual encouragement and accountability. Andrew Carnegie, the industrial titan, was a living embodiment of the mastermind principle. He openly admitted that he surrounded himself with a team of brilliant individuals, each possessing specialized knowledge and skills that complemented his own. He was the orchestrator, yes, but it was the harmonious interaction and collective intelligence of his brain trust that allowed him to build an empire that shaped modern industry. Henry Ford, too, understood this. He didn't invent every component of the automobile or every process of the assembly line himself. Instead, he assembled a mastermind group of engineers, innovators, and strategists whose combined genius revolutionized manufacturing. The core ingredient for a successful mastermind alliance is not just shared ambition, but absolute harmony. Hill stressed that discord, jealousy, or ego within the group can instantly shatter the synergistic effect, reducing the collective power to less than that of its individual parts. The energy that would otherwise be used to create is instead wasted in internal friction. Therefore, selecting members for your mastermind alliance requires careful consideration. Look for individuals who are not only intelligent and skilled, but also possess integrity, a positive attitude, and a genuine commitment to the common, definite purpose. They should be people with whom you can communicate openly, honestly, and without fear of judgment. The benefits of a mastermind alliance are multifaceted. Firstly, it provides an unparalleled pooling of specialized knowledge, where one person's expertise ends, another's begins, creating a comprehensive intellectual resource far beyond what any single mind could possess. Secondly, it fosters an environment of expanded imagination. Brainstorming sessions within a harmonious mastermind often lead to insights and solutions that no individual could have conceived alone. The synergy stimulates creative thought, allowing ideas to be refined, challenged, and elevated. Thirdly, a mastermind alliance acts as a powerful source of emotional support and renewed persistence. When you face setbacks, as you inevitably will, your mastermind partners can provide encouragement, offer alternative strategies, and remind you of your definite purpose. They become your champions, your sounding boards, and your accountability partners, preventing discouragement from taking root and ensuring that your persistence remains unyielding. The collective belief in the shared objective fortifies the faith of each individual member. Moreover, a mastermind provides diverse perspectives, which is crucial for robust, organized planning and decisive action. Each member brings their unique background, experiences, and thought processes, allowing the group to analyze problems from multiple angles and develop more comprehensive, resilient plans. Decisions made collectively, after thorough discussion and harmonious consensus, often carry greater weight and are implemented with stronger conviction. To build your own mastermind alliance, begin by clearly defining your definite purpose. Then, identify individuals whose specialized knowledge, experience, and temperament would complement your own and contribute significantly to that purpose. Don't limit yourself to those who think exactly like you. Seek out those who offer different perspectives but share your fundamental values and commitment to the goal. These alliances can be formal, with regular meetings and structured agendas, or more informal, involving regular conversations and mutual support. The key is the consistent, harmonious exchange of ideas and energy. The power of the mastermind is not a passive benefit. It is an active force that must be cultivated and maintained. It requires conscious effort to foster harmony, encourage open communication, and ensure that every member feels valued and heard. It's a relationship, or rather, a set of relationships built on trust, respect, and a shared vision. When this dynamic is achieved, the collective energy and intelligence generated can propel individuals and the group toward achievements that would otherwise seem impossible. As you reflect on your journey, ask yourself, have you been trying to do it all alone? Are you leveraging the immense potential that lies in the coordinated effort of like-minded individuals? The mastermind principle is an invitation to elevate your ambitions beyond your individual capacity, to tap into a wellspring of collective genius that can transform your definite purpose from a challenging endeavor into an inevitable triumph. For it is through this harmonious collaboration that you not only gain access to amplified intelligence and support, but you also prepare your mind for the reception of even higher forms of insight. What, then, is this supreme faculty, often misunderstood, which acts as the antenna to the universe's boundless wisdom? Your burning desire, focused and fortified by faith, is steadily programming your subconscious through autosuggestion. Specialized knowledge provides the concrete data, organized planning charts the course, and decisive action initiates the momentum. Persistence ensures you stay on track through every trial, and the harmonious power of a mastermind alliance amplifies your efforts, lending collective wisdom and strength. With all these powerful mechanisms engaged, you have built an incredibly robust internal and external system for achievement. Yet there remains a supreme faculty, often misunderstood and rarely consciously directed, that acts as the ultimate antenna to the universe's boundless wisdom. This brings us to Hill's 10th principle, the mystery of sex transmutation. Before delving into this principle, it is crucial to understand that Hill's use of the term sex transmutation is not merely about physical acts. He uses sex in its broadest, most fundamental sense, as a powerful, creative, and motivating energy inherent in all human beings. This energy, he argued, is the most potent, original, and driving force in human nature, a force far too often misdirected, misunderstood, or squandered. When this tremendous energy is transmuted or redirected from purely physical expression into other creative outlets, it becomes a powerful catalyst for genius, ambition, and the achievement of extraordinary goals. Hill observed that men and women who achieve the greatest success are often those who have developed a heightened awareness of this creative energy and have learned to redirect its immense power. He noted that the period of greatest creative achievement for many individuals often coincides with a period of intense, sustained sublimation or redirection of this primary creative impulse. This is not to suggest celibacy or suppression, but rather a conscious harnessing of this vital force and channeling it into productive, constructive endeavors that align with one's definite chief aim. Think of this energy as a wellspring of raw, untamed power. In its untransmuted state, it can lead to impulsive behavior, distraction, or even destructive patterns. However, when consciously directed, it becomes a source of immense vitality, intense focus, heightened imagination, and unwavering persistence. It fuels the burning desire, strengthens the faith, and gives unparalleled emotional intensity to the autosuggestion that programs the subconscious mind. It is the fire in the belly that makes all the other principles truly come alive. The act of transmutation involves a deliberate shift in thought and focus. Instead of allowing this powerful energy to flow solely towards its primary biological purpose, you consciously redirect its force towards your definite purpose. This redirection can manifest as an increased capacity for work, a surge in creative ideas, a heightened ability to concentrate for extended periods, and an almost superhuman drive to overcome obstacles. It elevates your ambition, infuses your planning with a deeper sense of conviction, and sharpens your decision-making abilities. Hill identified that the stimulation of the mind through this redirected energy can lead to a state akin to genius. He listed several sources of mind stimulation, with the sex urge holding the top position due to its intense motivating power. When this force is consciously channeled, it can elevate your mental vibration, making you more receptive to insights from the creative imagination, that direct line to infinite intelligence. This is why many of the greatest artists, thinkers, inventors, and leaders in history were individuals known for their intense passion and often their ability to sublimate and redirect this primal energy into their work. Consider the intricate connection between this principle and imagination. Your imagination is the workshop of your mind, where ideas are conceived and blueprints are drawn. When the creative energy of sex transmutation is channeled into this workshop, it supercharges the process. It lends an emotional intensity and vividness to your visualizations that mere intellectual effort cannot achieve. It allows you to feel your desired future with such palpable reality that it accelerates its manifestation. The ideas that flow through your creative imagination become more potent, more detailed, and more inspired. Furthermore, sex transmutation directly impacts persistence. When fueled by this redirected energy, your capacity to endure setbacks, to push through exhaustion, and to maintain an unwavering focus on your goal becomes dramatically enhanced. It provides a deep, almost instinctual drive that propels you forward, even when conscious will might falter. This is the source of that relentless drive that successful individuals often display, a powerful internal engine that never seems to run out of fuel. The application of this principle requires self-mastery and conscious awareness. It is not about denying a fundamental aspect of human nature, but about elevating it. It is about understanding that this powerful creative force can be either a master that dictates your impulsive actions or a servant that empowers your highest aspirations. The choice lies in conscious direction and intelligent redirection. It involves recognizing when this energy arises and deliberately channeling it into productive thought, planning, and action related to your definite chief aim. For example, when you feel a surge of this powerful energy, instead of allowing it to dissipate in undirected ways, consciously guide your thoughts towards your projects, your goals, your creative endeavors. Use it to deepen your concentration on your organized plan, to fuel a brainstorming session with your mastermind group, or to add emotional conviction to your auto-suggestion exercises. This practice, consistently applied, slowly but surely builds a habit of redirecting this creative force, transforming it into a reliable source of intellectual and creative power. Hill also emphasized that this energy, when properly transmuted, acts as a powerful stimulant to the other mental faculties. It sharpens reasoning, clarifies perception, and enhances analytical abilities. It can make the seemingly impossible suddenly appear attainable, filling you with an unshakable confidence that comes from deep within. This internal wellspring of power changes your entire energetic signature, making you more attractive to opportunities, resources, and like-minded individuals. The mystery in the mystery of sex transmutation lies in its profound yet often unacknowledged power. Society often educates us to suppress or misdirect this energy, rarely teaching us how to harness its constructive potential. Hill's revelation was that this very energy, often seen purely in a biological context, holds the key to unlocking extraordinary levels of achievement when consciously directed. It is the raw creative force of life itself, waiting to be shaped by a definite purpose. To effectively employ this principle, therefore, requires a deep level of self-awareness and self-control. It is a continuous practice of recognizing this powerful energy within yourself and consciously choosing to channel it towards your highest ambitions. It demands a definite purpose so compelling that it can absorb and direct such a potent force. Without a clear aim, this energy can become chaotic. With a clear aim, it becomes the most powerful propellant for your journey to success. As you cultivate this skill of transmutation, you will find that your mind operates at a higher vibration. Your thoughts will become clearer, your insights more profound, and your capacity for sustained, focused effort will increase dramatically. You will begin to access levels of creative genius that you perhaps never knew you possessed. This higher mental state, fueled by transmuted energy, becomes the ideal condition for receiving profound insights and connecting with the very source of all knowledge. This leads naturally to the 11th principle, which describes the mechanism through which these higher insights are received. What, then, is this often elusive faculty that allows you to tap into universal intelligence and receive answers to your deepest questions? Your burning desire, intensified by faith and imprinted through autosuggestion, now guides your specialized knowledge into organized plans. Decisive action, sustained by persistence, is amplified by your mastermind alliance, all supercharged by the creative power of transmuted energy. You've built a powerful engine, operating at a high frequency. But even the most finely tuned engine needs a way to receive signals, a conduit to higher intelligence. This brings us to Hill's 11th principle, the subconscious mind. We've touched upon the subconscious mind repeatedly, recognizing its role as the fertile ground for autosuggestion. Now we delve deeper into its profound and often mysterious power, understanding it not just as a passive recipient of instructions, but as an active, living connection to all universal intelligence. The subconscious mind is the connecting link between the finite mind of man and infinite intelligence. It is the repository of all our stored experiences, memories, and habits. But more profoundly, it is the mechanism through which our prayers are answered, our inspirations received, and our hunches, premonitions, and moments of genius emerge. Hill emphasized that the subconscious mind is a vast, silent force that works day and night, whether you are awake or asleep. It records and files every thought, every impression, every experience. It takes whatever thoughts are impressed upon it through conscious effort, like autosuggestion, or through unconscious influences, like fears and doubts, and then proceeds to translate those thoughts into their physical equivalent, using every available means. It is the uncritical servant, faithfully executing the instructions it receives, often with an efficiency and ingenuity that surpasses conscious reasoning. However, the subconscious mind does not discriminate. It acts upon thoughts of a negative or destructive nature just as readily as it acts upon positive, constructive thoughts. This is why mastering the art of autosuggestion and channeling your mental energy, including the transmuted sex energy, is so critical. You must consciously feed your subconscious with the thoughts, desires, and images that align with your definite chief aim, ensuring that this powerful mechanism is always working for you, not against you. One of the most remarkable aspects of the subconscious mind is its direct connection to infinite intelligence. Hill posited that when you consciously impress a clear, definite purpose, backed by an intense desire and unwavering faith, upon your subconscious, it then taps into this universal reservoir of knowledge and power. This is where creative imagination truly comes alive. Solutions to complex problems, brilliant ideas, and profound insights often pop into conscious awareness from the subconscious, having been processed and refined at a deeper level. These are not random occurrences. They are often the direct result of having consistently prepared the subconscious mind to receive them. Consider the role of the subconscious in developing intuition, that sixth sense that successful people often credit for their most important decisions. This intuitive guidance is the subconscious communicating insights it has gathered or received from infinite intelligence. When you learn to trust these subtle promptings, these gut feelings, you begin to leverage the incredible wisdom of your subconscious mind, often bypassing the slower, more analytical processes of the conscious mind. The preparation of the subconscious mind for effective operation is a cumulative process built upon all the preceding principles. Burning desire and faith provide the emotional charge and conviction necessary to impress thoughts deeply onto the subconscious. Autosuggestion is the deliberate method used to communicate those desires and beliefs to the subconscious. Specialized knowledge gives the subconscious the raw data and understanding it needs to process problems and generate practical solutions. Imagination allows the subconscious to visualize the desired outcomes and create mental blueprints. Organized planning provides the subconscious with a structured framework for action. Decision gives the subconscious clear, unambiguous directives. Persistence signals to the subconscious that the goal is non-negotiable and worth continued effort. The master-mind alliance, through the harmonious interaction of minds, contributes a richer pool of thoughts, ideas, and solutions that can be absorbed and processed by the individual subconscious minds within the group. Sex transmutation provides a powerful surge of creative energy that stimulates the subconscious, elevating its receptivity and increasing its capacity for genius. When all these principles are engaged, the subconscious mind becomes an incredibly powerful ally. It constantly works on your definite purpose, drawing upon all available resources, your memories, your acquired knowledge, and the vast intelligence of the universe to manifest your desires. It will present ideas, open doors, bring the right people into your life, and guide you with unerring accuracy, often through feelings, hunches, or sudden flashes of inspiration. The key to effectively utilizing your subconscious mind is to cultivate a positive mental attitude and to maintain it consistently. Fear, doubt, worry, and all other negative emotions are destructive to the delicate machinery of the subconscious. They impress upon it commands that lead to outcomes you wish to avoid. Therefore, guarding your mind against negative influences, both internal and external, is paramount. This is a practice of constant vigilance and deliberate thought control. Learning to communicate with your subconscious effectively also involves practice and trust. Start by clearly defining a problem or a desire, then impress it upon your subconscious with emotion and faith, particularly before sleep. Then, release it. Trust that your subconscious will work on it and be receptive to the answers or insights that come to you, whether in dreams, sudden ideas during the day, or through the words of others. The more you practice this, the more profound your connection to this inner power will become. The subconscious mind is not merely a part of you. In many ways, it is the operative you that interacts with the deeper currents of existence. It is the engine that drives your outward actions, guided by the instructions you consciously or unconsciously feed it. Understanding and harnessing its power is not just a technique. It is a profound journey of self-mastery, transforming you from a passive participant in your fate to an active co-creator of your destiny. With the subconscious mind operating as a faithful and powerful servant, tirelessly working towards your definite purpose, the next question becomes, how do you discern and utilize the hidden wisdom that flows through this and other channels, translating it into practical advantage? Your journey has revealed the intricate dance between desire, belief, and the inner workings of your mind. You have harnessed the power of your burning desire, solidified your faith, programmed your subconscious through autosuggestion, and acquired specialized knowledge. Your imagination has crafted a detailed blueprint, which your organized planning has translated into actionable steps. Your decisive actions, fueled by persistence, are amplified by your master-mind alliance, all supercharged by transmuted energy and guided by the profound wisdom of your subconscious. You are operating at an incredibly high level of mental and spiritual coherence. Now, we arrive at the physical instrument through which all these forces are orchestrated and expressed. Hill's 12th principle, the brain. Hill, drawing on the cutting-edge science of his time and his observations of highly successful individuals, described the human brain not merely as an organ of thought, but as a sophisticated broadcasting and receiving station for thought. This concept elevates the brain beyond a simple processing unit to an active participant in the vast unseen network of universal intelligence. It is the physical manifestation of your mental power, the instrument through which your definite purpose is projected into the world and through which insights and inspirations are drawn from the ether. Think of your brain as the central control panel for all the preceding principles. Your burning desire is the powerful signal you intend to broadcast. Your faith tunes the station to the right frequency. Autosuggestion is the ongoing programming language you feed into the system. Specialized knowledge provides the content of your transmissions. Imagination is the creative studio where the message is formulated. Organized planning dictates the sequence and timing of your broadcasts. Decision hits the transmit button. Persistence keeps the signal strong despite interference. The mastermind acts as a network of interconnected broadcasting stations, amplifying each other's signals. Sex transmutation provides the raw energy and power output for your broadcasts. And the subconscious mind is the powerful underlying operating system, handling both the receiving and broadcasting with incredible efficiency, often without your conscious awareness. Hill emphasized that every thought held in the conscious mind, particularly when charged with emotion, especially the emotions of faith and desire, generates vibrations that are broadcast from the brain. These thought vibrations, like radio waves, travel out into the universe. More importantly, the brain is also capable of receiving thought vibrations from other brains, as in the mastermind principle, and from the great storehouse of universal intelligence, which he often referred to as infinite intelligence. This receiving capability is what allows for sudden insights, inspiration, and solutions to problems that seem to come out of nowhere. The quality of your broadcasting and receiving depends entirely on the state and training of your brain. A brain habitually filled with negative thoughts, fears, doubts, and indecision will broadcast a weak, distorted signal and will be poorly tuned to receive constructive input. Conversely, a brain consistently fed with positive, purpose-driven thoughts, backed by faith and desire, will broadcast a strong, clear signal, attracting harmonious thought vibrations and becoming a powerful receiver of beneficial insights. The cultivation of this broadcasting and receiving station is not a mystical process. It is a direct consequence of the disciplined application of the other principles. When you consistently practice autosuggestion, impressing your definite purpose and faith upon your subconscious, you are literally training your brain to align its neural pathways with your objectives. When you engage in specialized knowledge acquisition and organized planning, you are building the intellectual infrastructure that enables your brain to process and organize information effectively. When you participate in a mastermind alliance, you are establishing mental connections that facilitate the exchange and amplification of thought. Hill also suggested that the brain is particularly responsive to the emotions. He listed sex, transmuted, love, and faith as the most powerful positive emotions, capable of elevating the thought vibrations of the brain to an extraordinary degree. When these emotions are brought to bear upon your definite purpose, the brain's capacity to broadcast and receive becomes significantly enhanced. This explains why moments of intense emotion often precede breakthroughs or profound creative insights. The practical application of understanding the brain as a broadcasting and receiving station involves several key elements. Mind control. Consciously choose the thoughts you entertain. Guard your mind vigilantly against negativity, fear, and doubt, for these pollute your broadcast and distort your reception. Emotional charge. Imbue your thoughts with positive emotions, especially faith and desire, to strengthen their vibrational quality. Regular programming. Through autosuggestion, consistently impress your definite purpose and plans upon your subconscious, thereby programming your brain to focus on these objectives. Openness to inspiration. Be receptive to hunches, insights, and ideas that come to you. These are often the received signals from your subconscious or infinite intelligence, processed through your brain. Mastermind interaction. Engage regularly with your mastermind group to leverage the combined mental energy and insights, acting as a collective broadcasting and receiving network. Understanding the brain in this context gives you a powerful sense of agency. You are not a passive recipient of circumstances. You are an active broadcaster of your intentions and a conscious receiver of solutions. Your brain is the powerful tool that connects your inner world to the outer reality, making your thoughts manifest. The power of the brain is not limited to physical tasks. It is the ultimate tool for attracting and organizing the non-physical elements of success, the ideas, the opportunities, the synchronized events that pave the way for your achievement. When your brain is optimally tuned and directed by the combined force of your definite purpose, faith, and the other principles, it becomes an unstoppable instrument for the manifestation of your desires. You have now built the engine, learned how to tune it, and understand its incredible power. But even the most sophisticated engine requires careful maintenance and protection from corrosive elements. There are insidious forces that can undermine your efforts, cloud your judgment, and ultimately sabotage your journey. What, then, are these negative influences, and how do you protect your mind from their destructive power? Your journey has led you through the construction of an extraordinary mental and spiritual engine. Your burning desire, faith, auto-suggestion, specialized knowledge, imagination, organized planning, decision, persistence, mastermind alliance, sex transmutation, and the understanding of your subconscious and brain are all working in harmony. You've learned to build, to broadcast, to receive, and to channel immense power. Yet, there remains a faculty, often the culmination of all the others, which transcends ordinary thought and provides direct communion with universal wisdom. This brings us to Hill's 12th principle, the sixth sense. The sixth sense, as described by Hill, is not a mystical ability in the common understanding of the term, but rather the apex of all the other principles working in concert. It is the faculty of the subconscious mind that, when fully developed, provides direct communication with infinite intelligence. It is the still small voice, the hunch, the inspiration, the revelation that seems to come from outside your normal sensory perception, yet provides unerring guidance and solutions to problems that defy logical explanation. This is the stage where you begin to receive information, ideas, and solutions that you could not have acquired through your 5 physical senses or through your conscious reasoning alone. Hill believed that the sixth sense is the ultimate form of creative imagination, the highest faculty of the mind. It is not something you actively do in the same way you plan or decide. Instead, it is something you become receptive to, a state of being achieved through the consistent, harmonious application of all the preceding principles. When your mind is clear, your purpose definite, your faith unwavering, and your subconscious programmed, you create the ideal conditions for the sixth sense to emerge and operate. Consider it the direct antenna to the universe's boundless wisdom, a direct link to what some might call God, universal consciousness, or the collective unconscious. It is the faculty through which intuition becomes a reliable guide, through which creative genius truly expresses itself, and through which individuals gain access to knowledge beyond the confines of their personal experience. The development of the sixth sense is a slow, gradual process, not an overnight awakening. It is cultivated through diligent practice of the other principles, especially auto-suggestion. By consistently impressing constructive thoughts and definite aims upon your subconscious, you are preparing the fertile ground for deeper insights. Creative imagination. The more you consciously practice visualizing your desires and allowing new ideas to form, the more you open the channels for spontaneous creative insights. Sex transmutation. The redirection of this powerful creative energy elevates your mental vibrations, making you more receptive to subtle impressions and higher forms of thought. The subconscious mind. As your subconscious becomes perfectly aligned with your definite purpose, it becomes a more efficient receiver and transmitter of information from infinite intelligence. The brain. By training your brain to be a powerful broadcasting and receiving station, you fine-tune its capacity to pick up these subtle signals. When the sixth sense begins to function, it often manifests as a sudden flash of insight, a profound conviction about a course of action, or a clear vision of a solution to a long-standing problem. It might present itself in dreams, during meditation, or in moments of quiet contemplation. It often feels like an inner voice speaking with authority or a feeling of knowing without concrete evidence. Individuals who consistently rely on their sixth sense often describe it as an infallible guide, leading them to opportunities and protecting them from pitfalls they otherwise would not have perceived. Hill emphasized that the sixth sense can only be activated and trusted when the mind is free from negative emotions and influences. Fear, doubt, worry, hatred, and greed are like static on a radio, jamming the signal from infinite intelligence. Therefore, maintaining a positive mental attitude, cultivated through self-discipline and conscious thought control, is absolutely essential for the reliable functioning of your sixth sense. This principle is the ultimate goal, the culmination of your mastery over your mind and emotions. It means operating from a place of profound inner wisdom, where your actions are not merely logical, but divinely inspired. It is the ultimate expression of personal power, allowing you to move with certainty and grace through the complexities of life, knowing that you are guided by an intelligence far greater than your own. Consider the great leaders, innovators, and spiritual teachers throughout history. Many of them spoke of being guided by an inner voice, receiving profound insights, or experiencing moments of divine revelation that shaped their lives and, in turn, the course of humanity. Hill suggested that these were not supernatural occurrences, but rather the functioning of a highly developed sixth sense, honed through focused intention and a life dedicated to a definite purpose. To nurture your sixth sense, practice moments of quiet contemplation and meditation. Ask your subconscious, and thereby infinite intelligence, for specific guidance related to your definite purpose. Be open and receptive to the answers, however they may appear. Trust the subtle promptings, the intuitive nudges, and the sudden inspirations. The more you acknowledge and act upon these insights, the stronger your sixth sense will become. The full development of the sixth sense is the point at which all other principles merge into a unified, harmonious whole. It is the state where you are no longer merely thinking and acting, but are truly co-creating with the universe, guided by its boundless wisdom. This is the ultimate destination on your journey of self-mastery and achievement, where your desires are not just fulfilled, but realized with an effortless grace that defies conventional explanation. You have now explored all the principles outlined by Napoleon Hill.